I signed my first football contract, but a few years ago I was sitting on the bench and playing Sunday League. No confidence, no clear plan, no idea how to reach the next level. So how did I get from there to here? Because if you followed my journey for a while, you'll know it wasn't always like this. I wasn't the most talented player, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the fastest, and there were many players ahead of me. I started playing football when I was 4 years old. I just loved the game, and my main focus back then was to have fun. But when I was 12, I wanted to level up. I got the opportunity to do my first academy trial. Back then, I genuinely believed this was my chance. I thought if I played well, everything would change, but it didn't go the way I imagined. I failed the trial, and honestly, I was devastated. That was the first major setback of my football journey, and as I can tell you now, it was one of many. And honestly, it hit me harder than I expected. Looking back, that was the first time I realized that loving football wasn't enough. There are thousands of talented footballers who share the exact same dream: becoming a professional football player. For the next 3 years, I stayed at my local club. While I was playing Sunday League football, I watched other players move to bigger clubs and academies. And if I'm honest, there were moments where I felt left behind. I felt like everyone else was progressing while I was standing still. But of course, I didn't give up. I kept going and switched to a better club at 14 years old. The level was completely different. Suddenly, I was competing against some of the best young players in the region. We even faced top academies, including teams like Bayern Munich, and now I officially understood that talent alone wasn't going to be enough. The following year turned to be one of the hardest of my football journey. I got moved up to an older age group. Suddenly, I was competing against bigger, stronger, and more physical developed players. Players who were further ahead technically, physically, and mentally. And to be honest, I wasn't ready. I was smaller, slower, weaker, shy, and nowhere near the level of the best players. I got dropped, I got left out of squads, and I spent most of the season on the bench. I wasn't even a real part of the team. That's when I had a choice: accept where I was or become obsessed with improving. So I started training alone. Before school, after school, on days off, whenever I could. And slowly things started to change. My touch improved, my confidence improved, I became stronger on the ball, and I started believing in myself again. For the first time, I felt like I could actually compete at that level. But looking back, it wasn't just the extra walk itself. It was the fact that I was working on the right things. Every session had a purpose. I wasn't just training more, I was training smarter. Instead of randomly kicking a ball around, I focused on the areas that were holding me back. My technique, my physical development, my mentality, my confidence, and my explosiveness. That's when I started seeing real progress. Slowly, I walked my way back into the team. The same coach who had once left me out of the squad started giving me opportunities again. And this time I was ready. Week by week, I earned more minutes, more trust, more responsibility. And by the end of the season, I had gone from being dropped from the squad to becoming a starter. And the following summer, everything changed. While most players were enjoying their holidays, I was on the pitch almost every day, training with my brother, working on my technique, working on my weaknesses, doing everything I could to come back better. I wanted more, and when the new season started, all that work finally paid off. I played almost every game, I scored goals, I got assists, and I became one of the most important players on the team. For the first time in my career, I wasn't trying to survive. I was standing out, and eventually, I got the opportunity to make one of the biggest moves of my football journey so far. I signed for a much bigger academy, and guess what? I was back on the bench again. Another challenge, another setback, another moment where I could have quit. But this time was different, because I already knew what worked. The same system, the same process, the same habits. I knew what I could do, and I knew my qualities as a player. Eventually, I started training with the second team, the under-23 squad, then the first team, made my debut, earned more opportunities, and finally I signed my first football contract. But looking back now, the journey wasn't anything but easy. There were setbacks, moments where I doubted myself, moments where I wasn't in the squad, moments where I was sitting on the bench wondering if I was ever going to make it. And if there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that most players don't have a motivation problem. Most players don't have a talent problem either. They have a guidance problem. They want to improve, they are willing to work hard, they are willing to make sacrifices, but they don't know exactly what to do. How should I train? How often should I train? How do I become more confident? Because that's exactly what I struggled with when I was younger. I wanted to improve. I was willing to work hard. I was willing to sacrifice my free time, but I had no idea what I should actually be doing. So I did what most young footballers do. I went on YouTube, I searched for random football drills, I copied random workouts, I trained things that looked cool, and I spent hours working hard. But I wasn't always working on the things that would actually make me better. There was no structure, there was no roadmap and no system. Just hard work and guesswork. I constantly asked myself, what should I train? How often should I train? How do I improve my technique? How do I build confidence? And finding those answers wasn't easy. For years I had to figure everything out myself, testing different training methods, making mistakes, wasting time on things that didn't work. And honestly, if I had access to the right system when I was younger, I probably would have improved much faster. And that's exactly why I built the Ballers Academy. The exact framework I've built through years of setbacks, mistakes, training sessions and experience. The same principles that helped me go from being left out of squads to signing my first football contract. Inside the Ballers Academy, you'll find everything I wish I had when I was younger. The complete technical training system designed to improve your ball control, first touch, passing, dribbling and overall confidence on the ball. Dribbling sessions to master your 1v1s, glide past defenders with confidence, develop a first touch that gives you time and space under pressure and become the player that always wants the ball at their feet. Learn the exact same drills Messi, Ronaldo and Maradona used. Next, you'll get access to the speed and agility training system, because modern football is faster, more explosive and more demanding than ever before. I'll show you the exact protocol used by professional footballers like Anthony Elanga to stay fast, explosive and dangerous on the pitch. You'll also get access to specifically designed strength and conditioning programs. You'll find workouts and progressions suitable for different experience levels. Next comes something that most players completely overlook: mental performance training. Because here's the truth, most players spend hours working on their physical game, but almost nobody trains the things that controls everything else: their mind. They work on their first touch, they work on their speed, they work on their strength, but then one mistake happens in a game and their confidence disappears. They stop demanding the ball, they play safe, they hide, and suddenly they look like a completely different player. That's why the mental performance is such an important part of your development, because confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. You'll learn how to deal with pressure, bounce back from mistakes, stay focused when things aren't going your way, and become the player who demands the ball instead of hiding from it. You'll also get access to the nutrition and recovery system, because training hard means nothing if your body can't recover from it. Learn how to fuel your performance, recover faster, and get more out of every training session you complete. You'll also get access to live coaching calls where you can ask questions, get feedback, and learn directly from my experience. But that's not all. One of the most valuable parts of the Ballers Academy is direct access you'll get to me. You'll be able to send in your training clips and match footage for direct feedback. Instead of guessing what you're doing wrong, you'll know exactly what to improve. I'll break down your clips, point out the mistakes holding you back, and show you exactly what to work on next. This allows you to improve faster, avoid common training mistakes, and make sure you're spending your time on the things that actually matter. Most importantly, you'll also become part of a community of ambitious footballers from around the world, because the people around you matter. If you're constantly surrounded by players who don't take training seriously, who make excuses, and who don't have big goals, eventually that mindset starts to affect you too. But when you're surrounded by players who are working hard, chasing big goals, sharing their progress and pushing themselves every single day, something changes. You start thinking bigger, you start working harder, you start holding yourself to a higher standard. Inside the academy, you'll be surrounded by players who are all trying to become the best footballers they can be. You'll share wins, learn from each other's mistakes, stay accountable, push each other forward and become part of an environment that makes improvement feel normal. The Ballers Academy is just $27 per month. Many players spend 5 times as much on one private session, more than that on new clothes, more than that on equipment they hope will make them better. But none of those things gives them a complete system that will actually improve their game. A system that tells you exactly what to train, and how to keep improving month after month. If you're serious about improving as a footballer, click the first link in the description and I'll see you there.